everyone, this is your daily reading for October 4th, 2018. I am Morgana Brid. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to ask what your overall energy is, and this is your standard reading. This is going to tell us what the energy of the whole day is, and it's also going to help guide the reading, okay? So what is your overall energy for this Thursday? Today you have Pandora's Gift. So there is some sort of blessing on its way for you, or a lesson for you to learn, or just something that the universe has in store for you today. Something new, something like a new sort of understanding or new knowledge. With Pandora, or if you've ever heard of the story of Pandora's box, you know that it's like a box that is full of chaos, where a woman was given to a man, and this man had a box or a container of like all sorts of things like sickness and death and pain and chaos and trouble. And she ended up opening the box and let these things out. She tried to close the box, but it was already too late. The only thing that was left behind was hope or faith. And I think in reference to this card, the reason it is called Pandora's Gift is because the hope that is inside of that container or that box is what you need to hold on to today. And even if some unexpected things come up today, or unexpected troubles, you know, like a car breaks down, or your job gets closed, or there's a storm and you can't go to that party you wanted to go to, or something along those lines. Whatever it is, try to find the positive in that situation. Try to find how you can heal through whatever this revelation or this gift that comes to you is today. And even if it looks like it's a negative, looks like it's a curse, just try to see what about it could possibly be a blessing in disguise. Okay, this card is all about blessings in disguise. It's all about reaching inside of yourself and finding the answer of intuition. Use that intuition to guide you today, so that no one can tell you how you're supposed to live, or how you're supposed to experience things, how you're supposed to respond to things. Okay, listen to your own truth. Let that guide you. So let's see what your aspirational card is, and this could also possibly help us see a little bit more about what this overall card is telling you. So let's see, what is your aspirational card? This can help you figure out what you need to work towards, and if you're able to overcome your challenges, this may be the energy that you find yourself heading into. So what is your aspirational energy for Thursday, October 4th, 2018. You have the Seven of Wands, right? So that energy of maybe needing to listen to your intuition, it's still very important here, because with the Seven of Wands, it's saying that you may need to defend a belief or defend your way of life. And like I said with Pandora's Gift, let your intuition guide you so that nobody else can tell you how you're supposed to live. So it makes sense that this is the energy you're kind of striving towards, the energy of someone who is capable of saying, you know what, this is what I believe in, this is how I believe my life should be lived, this is my truth. Okay, so you may not be fully in your truth just yet, but you are starting to enlighten yourself. You're starting to open up to the possibilities of, you know, growing inside, to the possibilities of just being yourself without worrying about what other people think. Being yourself without giving a crap about how other people respond to you. And the reason you can do that is because you are trying to gather knowledge. You're trying to gather a new understanding. You're trying to learn things about your world, about your experience, about people around you. You're just always learning. And that is opening up doors for you. That's opening up your eyes. And it's showing things to you that other people aren't ready to see, or other people aren't ready to be aware of. So you're gonna have a lot of like pushback, because you're revealing things. You're saying, this is the truth. This is my truth. This is what I've seen from from experience, from evidence, from, messages from beyond me. All of this stuff has come together to lead me to this truth. And I followed my intuition here. So no one can tell me that I am entirely wrong. As long as you're not hurting people, as long as you know that this truth is a truth that is not harmful and is something that really is helping you to heal and helping you to grow, then stand your ground there. You're going to have that kind of energy where you're ready to start to stand your ground, even if you don't have every bit of knowledge that you want yet, even if you're still in the process of learning and growing. You're at that point where you can, say, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to follow and learn more about and understand on a deeper level, so that I am able to grow in this way. And yeah, I feel like you're going to possibly face some pushback from that, but to stand your ground. So let's see what is challenging you on the physical level today. What is your challenge concerning your physical level? This could include your jobs. This could include relationships. This could include projects that you're working on, anything on the mundane, earthly, physical level. When I say mundane, I don't want people to think that means like boring. That just means it is not ethereal. It is not something like on a spiritual level. That it's something that can be observed. Mundane is something that can be observed and repeated, and isn't something that stands out. It's not something that, you're like, that blew my mind, that changed my world. Okay, it's just your average everyday life. It's how you exist in the world here today for real. It's not your fantasy future or things that cannot be touched. It is your tangible here and now life. So what is challenging you on that level? You have the 9 of Swords. So today you might just be doubting your ability to achieve certain things, achieve your goals, and you're kind of just asking the universe, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to guide myself for the next 5 years or 10 years or 3 days? Just what am I supposed to do? I don't know if I have the capability. I don't know if I have the wisdom. So you're feeling just a lot of doubt about how you're supposed to live your life and what you're supposed to do. And I think that also goes back to the need to stand in your beliefs and follow your intuition. And right now you're kind of just doubting your intuition about your life, about jobs, about relationships, about just everything today. It just feels like you can't really trust the good in your life right now. Maybe there's a person that is coming around you and you're not trusting them and you're worried they're going to backstab you, or you think maybe they're gossiping about you or they're lying about you. Something like that is going on, and you are intuitively aware of it, even if you're not openly aware of it, even if it's like you have no proof. You're just like, you know what? I feel that this person is not trustworthy, and your intuition is telling you that either this person or this situation is something to doubt. It is something to be suspicious of, okay? So let's see what you can do to overcome this particular challenge. What can you do to overcome this sort of shady feeling, this mistrust that you're feeling of a situation or a person, this doubt you may be having in your own ability to create change, in your own ability to actually accept that gift the way you're supposed to and trust your intuition? So what can you do to overcome this? You have the 7 of Cups. And the 7 of Pentacles. Well, so you have 7, 7, 7, 9, 9 here. I think you're kind of, like I said, trying to figure out your own life, and you're not sure. You're doubting where you're supposed to go. You just feel like you don't really know anything at all. And a part of that is because there's a lot you want to do, right? I'm getting that you're very open person when it comes to finding ways to improve your life. You're trying a lot of different things. You're just trying to, figure out what works best for you, figure out what path is best for you. And you've been trying some different things. I think this is telling you to really take some time to look back at all of the things you've done so far and see what each thing has brought you. Okay, pay close attention to the results of the work that you've been doing, especially if it's something that you've been doing for a couple of months, and by now you should have some sort of results. You should have some sort of understanding of what works for you. Experimenting is fine, but don't get so caught up in experimenting and trying to find what works for you that you're not really paying attention to what actually does work or what doesn't work. You're really trying to make things that seem like they work for other people, you're trying to make them work for you, or things that worked for you 10 years ago, you're trying to make them work now, even though, it's been 2 months or 3 months and nothing has really changed for you. And you're like, you know what, just stick it out. I heard that if it doesn't work at first, it's going to get better. And that is true for a lot of things, but quite often, if it takes more than a month, then it may be time for you to switch gears. Of course, that's not the same for big things, like if you're trying to save thousands of dollars or fix your credit or, overcome depression, then, give yourself 6 months to 5 years, see how that process plays out. But whatever you do, don't get stuck in working on that process that you don't actually pay attention to the results and you're just trying new things because it feels better than actually facing when things aren't working. Because when you're trying to heal problems and you're trying different methods and those methods don't work, it's really easy to blame yourself. It's really easy to say, I didn't get better with these methods because I'm the problem, because I'm resisting them, because I just don't want them to work. And while sometimes that could be true for some people, I'm not getting that that's exactly what's going on here. I'm getting that it's like you're so focused on blaming yourself if failure happens. You're so focused on avoiding failure that you're not able to really recognize when change and growth and better things come your way. Okay, so let go of that fear of failure. Let go of that doubt that you have in yourself, and do that by really assessing where you are right now. Really looking at what has changed in your life since you started these new ideas or these new methods, since you've decided to pursue different things. Look at how that's affected your life on a practical, real, earthly scale. You're a human being, and if you put a lot of energy into something, there is the desire to force it to work because you put so much time and energy into it. That's not what you should be doing here. Okay, this card is saying that you need to look at the harvest. Okay, you already did the work. You already planted the seeds. Look at the harvest. I also think that maybe you need to stop worrying about whether or not someone else can take something from you. Okay, whatever it is that you've worked towards, whatever it is that you've tried to build and create, it's yours. The question isn't whether or not you're going to have it or whether or not someone's going to take it. The question is whether or not it's actually benefiting you, whatever it is. Whether or not the work that you put in has actually borne fruit, or whether you're just tilling dry land. I know that's a long metaphor, but look at the fruits that you harvest. Look at the work that you've done, and don't let yourself get distracted by trying everything. I think that's another thing that Pandora's gift speaks to, is that there are a lot of options for you. There's a lot that is available to you for you to do, and you want to do all of it. You want to do a lot of it, at least. There is some hope leaking out. You're like, I want to do that because it brings me joy, but I want to do that because I think it's a lot of fun. I want to do that because it makes me feel physically good. I want to do that because because of all these different things. And it's lovely and wonderful to let yourself do these things and to take care of yourself. But again, just try not to get distracted. Try to actually take the time to look at your beliefs about yourself, about your life, look at your lifestyle, look at the work that you have done. And if it is something that has worked for you and has been good for you, you're going to end up in that place where you're like, this is what I choose. But first you have to make yourself aware of that. First you have to evaluate yourself. And it's not easy. It's really not easy to look at your own flaws and look at how you're holding yourself back and look at the things that you could be doing as things to ignore. You know, like, look at the things that you are doing. Look at where you are right now. What you're doing today, what you're doing in your relationships, what you're doing in your job, what you're doing to prepare yourself for a future that you feel stable in. What actions are you taking right now today? What actions have you taken that have gotten you here, and how has it worked out for you? What's it done for you? And if it has worked out for you, great. If it hasn't, reevaluate why it hasn't and what you can do differently to improve that. So let's see what's challenging you on the mental, emotional, or spiritual level. This is a little less mundane, although, you know, our emotions can seem mundane after a time, after a lifetime with them. It's something that is beyond our ability to touch and our ability to physically alter. It's beyond the material, okay? And it speaks to what drives us. It speaks to that intuition that you're supposed to get in touch with today. So what is your challenge on this spiritual, emotional, or mental level? You have the Two of Wands. You might also hear my cat eating in the background. You're drawn to someone who's charming or something that seems attractive, and you want that life. You're looking at someone whose life seems better than yours, who seems happier than you, or you're dating someone who wants you to live a specific way and live a specific life, and it looks good, but it doesn't really speak to your soul. Okay, so you're dealing with some very kind of superficial energies today. And it could be coming from outside of you, but it could also simultaneously be within you, where you're, like I said, seeing this life, seeing the pretty shiny things that people have, and you're like, I want that. I want comfort. I want to live in a big house and pretty cars and all that stuff. But you're not really getting deep into the surface. So your energy, even on the mental and spiritual level, has been kind of shallow, and you don't really want to reflect on yourself. Okay, like they're two women, but you could also say that she's looking in a mirror, and in your challenge position, I think that's saying that you're really avoiding looking at your own flaws. You're really avoiding looking inward and seeing what's going on with you, okay? Whether it's because you want to avoid deep feelings, you want to avoid emotions like sadness or anger or any sort of dark feelings that may be lingering in the background. You're just trying to avoid getting deeper than you have to, okay? Like on your own. If no one's making you go deep, you don't want to have to go deep, because that's where the emotions are. That's where the trouble is. That's where you have to remember dark things. That's where you have to think about pain that you've pushed aside but not actually been able to overcome or heal, that you just ignore the problems in your life. You are trying to pass them off as things that don't bother you. You may be even at a point where you're like, where you think that you're so spiritually sound and spiritually enlightened that you're not allowed to have negative feelings, or that you're not allowed to think about things that cause you pain, right? You know, you may have in your head, If I'm enlightened or if I'm spiritual, then nothing can hurt me and I don't have to worry about anything. I can just ignore those problems because I'm spiritual. But that doesn't work. That doesn't help you to actually heal those problems. So I feel like your mind and your spirit is really trying to avoid any sort of issues, any sort of negativity that's lurking in the background, but it's not real. It's very superficial. It's very much you pretending to be okay, even to yourself. You're lying to yourself at the moment because you don't want to face those issues that are still there. It's not like you've completely forgotten them. You still think about them every other day. You still occasionally think about them when someone mentions it. Whenever this card was explained, you thought about some of those things, right? They came up in your head. These pains, these sad things that you're just ignoring, that you're just saying that you think will fade away if you just ignore them long enough. That's where you are. Okay, so let's see how you can overcome that sort of mindset. How can you overcome this spiritual shallowness that you found, that you're going through? You have Justice, yeah, and the Page of Pentacles. So with Justice here, I am getting that, yeah, you need to really assess your life right now, look at how everything is played out for you, and go deeper than you have. Okay, when you start doing work to heal the dark parts of yourself, it's really important that you actually are honest with yourself. You have to go past this surface level thinking, this always positive, so there are no problems kind of experience that you're trying to have for yourself, because that's false. That is not the real human experience. Human experience is raw. Human experience includes pain. Human experience includes confusion. And to really, really get the full experience that is meant for all of us, you have to take off the blindfold. You have to look at the truth of yourself, the truth of your soul, what's going on inside of you. And even though it's scary, you're not going to let that darkness hold you. All right? You have the ability to say, I'm going to grow from this and I'm going to heal from this. That's what you're looking in for. You're looking in to heal, not just to open old wounds, not just to make yourself sad or hurt or worry. You're going to heal these things so that you can be healthier, so that you can start new and move on with your life and find the abundance that you deserve. You have so many things that you want to do, and you've worked pretty hard trying to figure out the best way to achieve those things, but you've barely breached the surface. You have to look honestly at yourself, know that you're not going to be trapped in that sadness, that you're not going to stay in the dark place all the time, that you can grow from that and you can heal these things. It's time for you to reach inside and try to heal yourself so that you can start new and have a new healed experience. In this instance, Pandora's gift might be that pain that you've been ignoring and not letting to heal, that's been festering inside of you. It might be letting that out so that you can be free of it, so that hope can take its place, so that trust and acceptance and love can take its place. So let's see what your energy is to close out this Thursday. What is your energy for the end of day for October 4th, 2018? You have the Page of Wands and the Nine of Wands. There is some joyful or youthful energy here. So you may be a younger person, but that's just because I'm seeing the pages pop out. But again, we have 3 9s here, 3 7s. So you're about to find that this work that you've been doing, like I said, it's coming to harvest. And you're about to figure out what that harvest is. You're coming towards the end of a situation where you're going to find the fruits of your labor. Whether those fruits are healthy or rotten, that is up to you. Or well, it's not up to you, but it's up to you how you respond to it, how you deal with it. You've already laid the groundwork or planted the seeds. And whatever work you've been putting into it may have been healthy, it may not have been. Like I said, here you're going to have to evaluate the fruits of your labor. But you will have some sort of metaphorical fruit. You've worked hard for it too. You've done a lot of the work that you needed to do to get here. And there's no guarantee it's going to play out for you, but if it doesn't, you can heal it. If it doesn't, you have to be honest with yourself about that. This is telling you not to give up. This is telling you that even when it seems like everything's gone dark, it's for your benefit. It's for your healing. It's for your growth. You deserve healing and you deserve growth, but it isn't going to be easy for you. Be careful today of any upsets, or be aware of any upsets. Like I said, you may not trust that this situation is going to work out, and you may be doubting how things are supposed to work out or how you're supposed to do things. And a lot of that is because you're not getting deep enough within yourself to figure out what's going on underneath you that's affecting your world right now. But you're going to see the results of whatever work you've been doing, and you're going to see it soon. And you might be disappointed. There's that risk that failure is around the corner. Whatever it is, this is telling you not to give up on yourself. This is telling you to keep pushing forward. And this is telling you that if you're able to overcome these challenges, if you're able to dig deeper and find the fruits of your labor and assess what's worked and what hasn't worked, and able to overcome this shadiness or this mistrust or this doubt that is filling up your head, then you are going to realize that all of this trouble you're going through, all of this pain you've had, has helped you become who you are today. And you're going to be able to find a you that you love, a you that is real and true and is able to stand in his or her truth. All right, that's your reading for Thursday, October 4th, 2018. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. Please have a beautiful and wonderful day. And remember always that I love you. Bye.